Hey, welcome to another great episode here at the Pastor's Pantry Cooking School. I'm your host, Chef Sam Peters. Good to have you with us for another show. This is a great side dish. Now, we're using it today with kind of a barbecue class, but you could use this as a side dish for nearly anything because, who doesn't like mac and cheese? Now, we're not talking about the stuff in that gold and blue box. We're talking about homemade mac and cheese. We actually like to call it grown-up mac and cheese. So we're going to show you how to make that here in just a second. But before I do, I want to share with you, as we do every episode, the gospel of good taste. It's the two things that Joyce and I are very, very passionate about. The first is that we believe everything's about stewardship. James 1:17 tells us that every good and perfect gift is given to us by God, and we believe that food is a gift. Some farmer worked really hard to get that to your table, and we think you should be a good steward of that gift you've been given. So our hope is that we will teach you some things in this class that will help you make every dining experience great. The second part of the gospel of good taste, that we believe God created us to be in community with one another. We believe that because Jesus believed that. He was constantly sitting down eating with others. And we believe that there's really no greater metaphor for community than food. And so what we teach you here today, we hope, will be an occasion for you to gather people around your table and make it the sacred place and sacred time it was always meant to be. Well, as we get into this grown-up mac and cheese recipe, let me share with you, or actually have Joyce share with you, the ingredients in today's class.
All right, this is going to serve 10 to 12, depends on your serving size. You're going to need 1 pound, a 1 pound box of large elbow macaroni, 4 tablespoons of butter, 3 tablespoons of all-purpose flour, 3 cups of milk, and you're going to want that heated. You need 1.5 teaspoons of salt, 1/4 teaspoons of freshly grated nutmeg, 1 cup shredded cheddar, and then you're going to need 2 more cups for the topping, a cup of shredded Monterey Jack cheese, a 1/2 cup of grated Parmesan cheese, 8 strips of bacon cut thin, small pieces, and you're going to fry them until they're almost crisp, 1/2 an onion, a 1/2 tablespoon of minced garlic, and a pinch of thyme leaves. Now the bacon, the onion, the minced garlic, and the thyme is part of the topping for this luscious dish.
All right. Well, in order to make a great mac and cheese, you have to make a great cheese sauce. And to make a great cheese sauce, you have to make a great bechamel. In order to make a great bechamel, you got to make a great roux. It all starts with the roux. So we've got a hot pan here. We're going to stick our butter in there. I'm going to melt that down for you. Now, again, when you're making a roux, it's always fat and flour. That's how you start. And that'll be the thickener for our cheese sauce, along with the cheese, by the way. So we're just going to melt our butter down and get it nice and bubbly. And I've got this over medium heat. I'm going to turn it down just a skosh so I have time to do everything we need to do. I could do it at a fast temp, but I want you to be able to see what's going on. When your butter gets all nice melted and bubbly, we want to add our flour. And then we're just going to whisk that until it gets nice and creamy and it's still light in color. That's called a blonde roux. And of course, if you were making a gravy, you could start adding your milk to that. If you want a darker gravy, you just keep cooking it until it becomes a dark brown roux. So we're going to get all of our flour cooked out of this, make this nice and smooth. Now here's one of the mistakes most people make when they're making a bechamel or gravy or any of those kinds of things, is they add cold ingredients to hot ingredients, and you don't want to do that. You're doing all this work to get this roux nice and hot, and so we don't want to add to that cold milk. We're going to add heated milk. So I've got some milk back here in the back. It's just now at a scald. So we're going to add that in here. So we're adding hot milk to a hot roux. And then I just want to continue to whisk this. Get it back up to a boil, and it'll just take a minute really, because it's, as you can see, it's already bubbling. And that's because we already had it hot. Okay? Now once I've got a nice boil here, what this is doing, now we're going to see how thick our gravy is, or our bechamel. This is actually the bechamel sauce. Okay? Now to this, I'm going to add some salt. And I'm going to add some nutmeg. Let's get our little nutmeg grater here. maybe a 1/4 teaspoon of nutmeg to this. Eighth to 1/4 teaspoon. Let me whisk that in. And then we're just going to turn off the heat because the milk or the bechamel is hot enough to melt our cheeses. Now we're doing a 3 cheese sauce, all right? So we're going to add our cheeses in here. Oh, forgot to turn it up. Let me turn it up. I don't need it to keep cooking. It's hot enough. If it's boiling, it's hot enough to melt the cheese. And you can use whatever cheeses you're happy with. Just stir this around until your cheeses get melted. Now behind me we actually have some large elbow macaroni that's been cooking. You're going to cook that for about 8 to 12 minutes in salted boiling water until it gets nice and tender. All right, our cheese sauce is completed. Now we're just waiting for our macaroni to get done. All right, there's our elbow macaroni. It's been cooking for about 10 minutes. It's perfectly cooked. Now we're going to go ahead and add our cheese sauce. You just mix this around. I want all of that to get well coated. We've gotten all of our macaroni well coated with our cheese sauce. Now we get to make this a little extra special. We're going to top this with more cheese because if a little cheese is good, a lot of cheese is better. Try to get in those corners, Joyce.
That's good.
All right. And we're not done yet. Now we're going to add that bacon and garlic and onion over the top of this. You just want to saute that bacon. Still pretty hot, babe. Just saying.
Just came off the stove.
Did.
Again, spread it out evenly so everybody gets a little bit.
I'm going to do the best I can. So we sauteed our bacon, and in the bacon fat, then we added the onion and the garlic. Cook that down. You want to overcook the garlic, it'll get bitter on you. And then we're going to place this in a 350-degree oven for about 45 minutes or so, just till it gets nice and bubbly on top and nice and browned, and it's ready to go. We'll show you what it looks like when we plate it. Hey, we've had a lot of fun today making a barbecue meal for everybody. So what we have for you today is grown-up mac and cheese. This is homemade mac and cheese with 3 cheeses in the cheese sauce, topped with bacon and garlic and onion. It's fantastic. And then we want to try our grown-up mac and cheese. Super cheesy. Put 2 cups of cheese on top of it, plus the bacon and the onion. It's good. Perfect as always. Listen, you need to go out and get these recipes. They're out on our website, PatterFamSauces.com. And then when you make it, I know you will, we want you to post your pictures out on our Pastor's Pantry Facebook page so we can brag about you. Okay. Now to get this recipe and a whole bunch more, go out to our brand new YouTube channel, the Pastor's Pantry Cooking School. Subscribe to that so you see all this great stuff we're making, and it's going to give you some great ideas for dinner at your house. So I hope you all make this soon. Blessed cooking.